Hi, today we're going to chat a little bit about fonts in Google. A few days ago, I had an elementary teacher that was lamenting that Google just doesn't have enough fun fonts. And while that might be partly true, it also might be the case that we don't really know how to access all of the places to find fonts. So I have some typing here. We'll just highlight this. If we go up to the font box here, we see the typical fonts. And one thing we might not realize is that when we click on a font, there are also some options as far as what we can make it look like. So if I click on bold down here, this whole font becomes bold. That's Quicksand. And then if I come back to Quicksand, I can pick light and it changes it quite significantly. Now that's a fairly boring font. My elementary grade 3 teacher friend would not be very pleased if that was the only option that there is. We also have a little bit of a hidden spot to look. You might not have ever thought to click up at the top here where it says more fonts. When we click on more fonts, we have a lot more fonts, and you can see as I scroll through here quite quickly, we start to have more fonts that are a little different. Permanent marker, boxy, handwriting type, all different kinds. Now, there's a couple other things that we can do. We also have access to a whole bunch of different language fonts: Arabic, Greek, all right, Japanese, Chinese. Now, I'm going to assume that those might not be your top desires right now. You also can show fonts by categories. So if you're looking for, oh, there's no Greek handwriting fonts, all scripts, I can sort by handwriting. I can sort by monospace and different font families. I can also sort by alphabetical, or here's a fun one, trending. These are kind of the newest, fancier fonts that they have. And so we start to have a little bit more access to different fonts. However, I imagine that if you're an elementary teacher, this still might not be fun enough for you. There is also an add-on that you can get. And if we go to the add-ons and go to get add-ons, you can also search fonts. Now, unfortunately, in our division right now, we can't access this one at the moment, but you could certainly access on your private account. So now if I click on Extensus Fonts, this is a great add-on because it pulls the fonts right into your Google font list. It is currently unavailable for install. However, if you go over to your private Gmail account, you can add it there. You could create the document in your private account, share it with your Prairie Rose one, and get the fonts in that way. One other thing that you can do if you really want fun and fancy fonts is to go to Google and search for fancy font generators. I like the cool fancy text generator. There's lots of them. This is the one I tend to use. There are a number of fancy fonts that they have here, and then you can get into word art, all sorts of things. There are also, if we scroll up to the top here, you can also have a emoji generator, all different kinds of things that you can find at these types of sites. So I've typed my name, it's in a fancy font. If I press on this blue button, it copies what I have. Oh, there we go. It copies, lets me make a copy of whatever text I print in here. And then when I come back to my tab or my page, I can plop it in, and there it is. So you wouldn't want to format a document entirely by going back and forth, but if you're just looking for a really fancy way to make a title or a header or something that you're going to print, going off of Google Docs to a fancy font generator might not be a bad idea. Hopefully, there are some ideas for finding fancy fonts, even within Google.